What is up, my skibbity wibbities? You ready for the Violator Origins issue number 1? That's right, we're finally getting the true origin of the Violator in this miniseries, so should be pretty dope. Let's go. So we start off with our narrator, which is the Violator himself. My man's like, oh, didn't see you there. Blah, 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 blah. And that's pretty much how he starts, you know? He's like, this is the beginning. This is what we're doing. And we don't start at the beginning because everybody knows the beginning, really. We start at the end of the beginning. This is essentially where God is finalizing his creation, and he's using these angels to help him out and join him on this journey. Every angel has their purpose to help them enact the plans of God, and that was their grand design, to shape the infinite stuff of the cosmos and make light out of darkness. And the Violator was paired with the angel Bimbo Slice. Just kidding, her name is Gloriana or whatever you want to call her. Now, something that's interesting is the Violator's original name was Basil. And let me just stop real quick. This art is crazy. Fucking nuts. So Gloriana has to merge with Basil, right? So it's like an angel thing. They're supposed to merge together. Very interesting, very trippy. And this guy named Lucifer Morningstar, you may have heard of him, is doing his typical shit. He's preparing to rebel against God. You know, he doesn't really trust his plan. He thinks he's a fraud. I'm just going to call him the Violator so you guys are not confused by his name. So the Violator doesn't trust him at first, right? And Lucifer just touches him on the head and is like, let me show you. Let me show you something real quick. He essentially shows what the creator was doing this whole time, his intentions. And what he saw was betrayal. God is planning to betray these angels, to replace them. They're just pawns to him. Afterwards, Gloriana talks to Violator and is like, you seem troubled. What's happening? And he's kind of doubting God right now. And Gloriana does not like that. God then creates plants, life, trees, bees, all that shit. It's crazy how bees are like one of his first creations. That's interesting. And the Violator feels as if he should be excited that he's helping with this creation, but he's not. It irks him so bad that God does not give a Flying Dutchman's fuck about him. So the Violator goes to see Lucifer because he's teaming with him, because he feels this way. He feels God's betrayal, and Lucifer's gathering a gang of angels that agree with his philosophy, and they're like, yeah, let's go. Let's rebel against God. Now, by the way, these angels are not ordinary angels. They're seraphim. If you know anything about seraphim in the Bible, they are powerful as shit. So these are high-ranking angels. Now, Lucifer has this material, right? It's this goo. And this goo is possibly Hellspawn origin goo. This is probably what spawned the idea of the symbiote in hell, right? So this is the goo of creation. It's the jizz of creation. And the Violator uses it to cover his entire body, creating a suit. Sort of a proto-Hellspawn type suit. Lucifer does the rest with the other angels, and they're hyped about it. The angels then practice combat with each other, preparing for the rebellion. One gets nicked on the arm with one of the blades and is worried, but he's ensured that this goo can actually heal him. Now, at one point, Gloriana comes over and she's like suspicious about what's going on with the Violator. And the Violator has this goo on his arm and it acts on its own, just like Spawn's symbiote does sometimes. He just grabs her ass by the throat and he can't control it. And he drops her, apologizing, but it leaves a little sliver, which is what Gloriana planned. She wanted part of this creation goo. But now that they're ready to go, ready to battle, heaven and hell clash, right? It's Lucifer's gang versus God's gang, okay? Crazy page here. Crazy double page. This is, bro, look at this. Nutty. You know what other book has clashes between mythical gods and beings? My Book Grandpa. Name might not be final. We'll see what happens. My Book is a steampunk fantasy book about an ex-thief coming out of retirement to save his grandson's life by stealing from the Greek gods. Wild book. If you guys want to learn more about it, click the link down below. I think you'll love it. As the war between Lucifer's gang and heaven rages on, Gloriana goes after the Violator. She's like, hey, I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm siding with the Lord as much as this pains me. as she slashes his ass, sending him careening down into the darkness where his skin boils and his body transforms, and he lands onto the ground like a nuclear bomb, which is actually insane. This is a crazy durability feat for the Violator. By the way, motherfucker crashed into the ground, creating like a nuclear explosion. That's pretty bizarre. Anyway, he crashes into the ground, emerging from it, now transformed into his true form, and that is his Violator form. And that, my friends, wraps up the Violator Origins issue number 1. Like the video if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't enjoy the video, don't be a pussy. Like the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.